scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Strap in. This will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? The legal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game. 15 carries, 57 yards.
They've won 2 straight games and have done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. This offensive unit today, they're going to need Dez.
A full combo plate. Size, speed, toughness, not to mention incredible aggressiveness going and getting the football.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On 2nd down, Elliott So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
The undisputed leader of Houston's defense is J.J. Watt, who's been slowed by injuries over the last 2 seasons, only 8 games combined. But also, he gets work done off the field. The NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2017, with his work helping the flood victims of the city of Houston, raised nearly $40 million for the cause.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The numbers for Zeke from last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Again to Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Still leaves them with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball in the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's how you pick up a first down. You know where the sticks are. You know where the first down marker is, and you find a way to get there. That's called having vision.
He had a lot of vision last week, didn't he? NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was dominant. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Shrugs him off. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Now they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. It's a keeper with Prescott. Trying to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington. And it's 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this 1st quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. The give is to Elliott. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight, and so far it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
This is Elliott. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Prescott now from the 50. He hits Beasley right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with the run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the red zone now, Prescott rolling to his right. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw is Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. A look up to the scoreboard as time has run out on this first quarter. 9-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a first carry for D'Onta Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. The catch made by Miller. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Watson hands this to Foreman. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Ka'imi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run with Elliott. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board.
Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual, because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. Fighting him off. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Prescott from the gun. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Taco Charlton in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put it on the ground.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught by Bryant. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Prescott now on 2nd down. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And this one is incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the 1st half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On second down, Prescott again. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Prescott yet again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. First down, Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Prescott down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And now out comes Houston. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And out now come the Cowboys. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's Elliott. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a first down. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now Prescott, wide open receiver, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Prescott on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. To the air again, Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Final play of the half. Prescott looking downfield for Dez. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where it was the visiting Titans who were able to walk away with the road victory. Marcus Mariota leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Devontae Freeman, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. And finally, Monday Night Football has a good one down at the Superdome. An NFC battle between the Redskins and the Saints. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, fighting off the defender. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Again, it's Elliott. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And they'll run it here. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And on the ground they go with a running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for, because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. You got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
10 more there and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, As a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Griffin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Miller. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Watson now going to run the option right. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot, because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
What the fuck are you people doing?
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to, just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. They go to Elliott again. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go, 46.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And they'll go on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Cowboys on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll run it here. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
4th down, Prescott. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Watson on first down. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on second is Watson. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Third and long. It's Watson. Underneath for Miller. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Shane Leckler now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now here come the Cowboys. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Prescott. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And now running right through it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Prescott now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. When we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Throwing, Prescott. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the 4th. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the NFL. And now when offensive linemen hear the name DeMarcus Lawrence, they quake in their boots. How do we block this guy off the edge?
Here's Shane Lechler now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Austin. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
A gain of 3, second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And an alley run. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The offense on 3rd down tonight. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And they'll run it here. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record?
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Cowboys, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year, and they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.